Hey there, Javi here with BorrowLenses.com, and today we have DJI's surprise drop, the Ronin SC. We are crazy excited that DJI is continuing to innovate in the gimbal space, and even more excited that it was available as soon as it was announced. So now that we have it in our hands, let's dive in. Just like its big brother, the Ronin S, the Ronin SC is a 3-axis gimbal with the popular one-handed configuration. It actually looks like a shrunken down version of the Ronin S, with the same control and buttons and the same style of grip, tripod, and gimbal head. As such, your setup and balancing on the Ronin SC is exactly the same as the Ronin S. The only minor difference is that because of the smaller form factor, you don't have the ability to adjust for the roll axis on the back motor. The Ronin S was originally criticized for being a little heavy for one-handed use, since it weighs 4.1 pounds, and with a max payload of 8 pounds, you could end up carrying 12 pounds one-handed, extended for a long period of time. Many will be happy to hear how much lighter the Ronin SC is, coming in at 2.43 pounds without a camera package, and with a max payload of 4.85 pounds, at most you'd be carrying 7.3 pounds. Now, I'm sure some of you are hung up on one of those numbers, 4.85 pounds. That is true. The max payload on the SC is much lower than on the Ronin S, since this unit is designed primarily with mirrorless cameras and native lenses in mind. What's more, if you plan on using DJI's optional focus motor for the Ronin SC, your camera payload shrinks even further. A Sony mirrorless camera with a native prime lens was well under the weight limit, and it performed really well. Here's some test footage to see what we were able to accomplish. Now, we wanted to see how the Ronin SC fares against setups that push the payload limit. Here's the same Sony a7 III, but this time with a heavier native zoom lens. This setup clocks in at 4.35 pounds, and when we used it in normal parameters, it worked great, giving us smooth shots and fluid movement and stabilization. That said, when we tried fast movement with DJI Sports Mode, the motors had a harder time keeping up with the momentum of the payload. Don't get me wrong, this is not a huge knock on the SC. It's designed for light mirrorless packages, and that proves to be true. In normal circumstances, this payload works great, but pushing it to the extremes is not ideal. Just to see how it would fare when we went well over the payload, we tried the popular Blackmagic Pocket 4K camera with a native lens on the Ronin SC, and it mounts. But there's no way it'll balance. Even if you turn it on and force the motors to work overtime, your moves will be heavily affected. Of course, at this point, we'd recommend that you upgrade to a beefier Ronin S or even a Ronin M. When it comes to special features, the Ronin SC has some neat tricks up its sleeve. It brings back the popular 360 roll, which lets you do full barrel rolls as well as record vertical video. One of the new features in the SC is a mode called Force Mobile. In this mode, you connect to the Ronin SC via the Ronin app, and using your phone's gyroscope, you can control the gimbal's movement. This is not a new feature to handheld gimbals. Both the FreeFly Movi Pro's Mimic and the Ronin 2's Force Pro controller allow you to pan and tilt using a second motion-controlled unit. That said, this is the first time that we see it on a system this cheap, and it's really helpful when executing complex moves, where you don't want your main operator worrying about framing. Currently, this is only available on iOS. Sorry, Android. Another cool feature is Active Track, which uses your phone's camera to actively track a subject automatically. The phone mounts on the included cold shoe phone holder, and after selecting your target, you can stand back and let the gimbal do all the work. We were very surprised at how well this seems to work, as it rarely lost its subject, and when it did, it was able to find it again pretty easily. I see this being useful for vloggers or people who are shooting themselves, as well as for event videographers where you need to run and gun while tracking a subject through unfamiliar terrain. Other features this gimbal includes are time-lapse, motion time-lapse, and panorama mode. Pretty nifty for an entry-level gimbal. So there you have it. That's the Ronin SC. If you're familiar with the Ronin S and are often running a lightweight package, the Ronin SC might just be the perfect gimbal for you. I do want to stress that the motors in the SC are clearly not as strong as on the Ronin S, and pushing the weight and payload will result in shaky footage. That said, folks shooting on mirrorless cameras like a GH5, A7 III, EOS R, or Z7, this is a solid gimbal that will get you great shots and not leave you fatigued. Got a question? Leave us a comment below and let us know how you feel about this pint-sized gimbal. If you want to learn more about this or anything else, be sure to check out our blog, and if you want to test this out for yourself, you can at BorrowLenses.com. Thanks for watching.